Did we just get our answer on who the true 101 is in FFPC Never Too Early Best Ball drafts? What's the impact that the Tyler Algier signing is going to have on the rest of the backfield in Arizona? And who is the number 2 running back in this class? Those questions will be tackled and so much more. We've got a great show for you. Ferrell Elliott is here. Tommy Island himself, Tommy Herrin, is here. I'm Eric Balkman. We've got a great show for you. Stick around. The High Stakes Fantasy Football Hour Extra Reps Edition starts now.
Can't stand the pressure. I've seen greater men than need a lesson.
Broadcast live and heard around the world, you are now watching the most entertaining hour of radio on the planet. Welcome to the High Stakes Fantasy Football Hour presented by MyFFPC.com with your hosts Eric Balkman and Ferrell Elliott. The High Stakes Fantasy Football Hour is your home for analysis from the best players in the world. And now, because no one else was available, here are Eric Balkman and Ferrell Elliott.
Solace in the scripture. Are we not all our father's sons? I became a man. Nobody ever told me what a man was.
Thank you, Rob. Greetings and salutations to all of you Balkaholics and Ferrelliacs tuning in for some extra reps tonight. God bless you. You wanted to get that extra workout in, you're getting it in tonight with High Stakes Fantasy Football Hour Extra Reps. Coming up on tonight's show, we are going to touch on the wide receiver situation in Washington, whether it is a complete portrait or if it is unfinished there. We'll talk about when we think Patrick Mahomes is going to be coming back this season and the impact that's going to have on the Chiefs offense that Justin Fields is currently running, and so much more. Tommy Island 69 on X is Tommy Herrin. That's his handle. He's going to join us here shortly. The defending champion of the 2025 FFPC Big Gorilla Early Rampage Tournament. He won the 25 grand last year, and he's trying to defend the belt this year. That is what's coming up on the show tonight. Ferrell Elliott will be here shortly as well. If you want to connect with us on X, at HSFF Hour, at Eric Balkman, at Tommy Island 69, of course, KFFSC.com is where to check out Ferrell's Kentucky Fantasy Football State Championship. Post on our Facebook page, facebook.com/HSFF Hour. Email the show at highstakesfantasyfootball@gmail.com. We'll try to get to everything here tonight that we didn't get to on Wednesday with one Tony Kuchar, the 13-time FFPC Dynasty champion. And it's going to be a fun show tonight. So buckle up. Let's get to it. Without further ado, he is the talent agent to the stars, the guy that makes the KFFSC go at KFFSC.com. Please welcome in Ferrell Elliott to the program tonight. Ferrell, good evening, sir.
Happy Friday evening, buddy. It's great to be with you on Friday.
It always is, man. It always is. And the only thing that could make it better is if we had, we do have room for one more. So let's bring him on right now. The defending early Rampage champion of the FFPC Big Gorilla. He is Tommy Island 69 on X. He is Tommy Herrin in real life, and he joins us now.
There he is, baby.
What's up, gentlemen?
And, you know, extra reps is supposed to be off the cuff. It's a little looser. It can border on the obscene from time to time.
Well,
and, you know, there's no better man to have here for that than Tommy Island. And this will probably be the last broadcast that Tommy Island makes from his existing home before he moves into the new Tommy Island home. We may actually have to go there and do a 12-team divisional draft down at the Tommy Island.
I think that is definitely going to happen. That is definitely going to happen.
And, you know.
So, guys, the Wednesday night show with Tony Kuchar was a lot of fun.
Great show.
We didn't get to everything I wanted to. And Ferrell, I'm going to throw this one at you first. And then, Tommy, I want your opinion on this. And Tommy, maybe you'd actually – I mean, you drafted so much already this year. I'm curious what you would be doing with the 101 pick now if you got it. Because Tyler Algier is in Arizona. Brian Robinson is now in Atlanta. 1 year, $2.5 million. That's not a lot of money. It's strictly backup money. Ferrell, when you consider that he is replacing Algier, when you consider that Pacheco, at least as of right now, is replacing David Montgomery in Detroit, does one of these two big-time running backs separate himself for you at the 101 knowing who the guys behind him are right now, because to me, these are both upgrades for both Robinson and Gibbs coming into this season, considering who their backups are.
Okay. Did you say that Robinson is an upgrade over Brian Robinson is an upgrade over Tyler Algier?
No. And if I did say that, I apologize.
I want to make sure I understand it properly, because I thought that we were going to start the show with you in agreement with me. I think Brian Robinson is an upgrade over Tyler Algier.
The upgrade I'm talking about is for usage for Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs, because I think they get the upgrade because the downgrade from Montgomery to Pacheco, and then the downgrade from Algier to Robinson makes these guys more valuable.
Tommy Allen will be the tiebreaker here, but I believe Robinson's a better player than Algier, and I like Algier. But
so what is that? Does that move the needle for you? Would you take Gibbs over?
No, they're still good. They're still going to take Robinson first and Gibbs second. And I don't know what I would do, because I never get the number one. I never get it. I had a number 3 in a Big Gorilla. Tommy, how many times you got number 1 this year?
Probably 3 times.
Well, probably 0. That's why Tommy Island's getting them all. He's getting them all.
I've got 3, but I've drafted 21.
Well, I would say that's a good rate. I would say that you're doing okay. All right. Here, I'm going to give you this rundown on what I think Brian Robinson. Everybody remembers Brian Robinson 2025 as a non-factor with the Niners, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He's a factor.
I was surprised about, by the way.
Pardon me?
I was surprised that he was, the way that Shannon
I was too.
After they acquired him.
And, and we were all surprised that their number 1 running back stayed healthy. Brian Robinson is bigger. He's bigger in height. He's a better pass catcher. In 2024, he caught 36 balls. This is average 4.3 yards a carry throughout his career. I just really he's a slightly faster from going back to his pro day, and I think he plays faster. I'm great to see. I'm grateful to see Tyler in Arizona. Mm-hmm. I think this is a great addition for Atlanta. They did a wonderful job in putting this player here. It doesn't affect the draft, but it drives. We talked about this last week. It drives Bijan Robinson owners crazy when you get in the red zone and Bijan Robinson is on the sidelines. And guess what? You're going to get a lot more of that again with Brian Robinson there. And you might have you might see more Brian Robinson between the 20s, and you can absolutely go crazy. And so to follow up in answering your question, and then I'll get a better answer from Tommy Island and mine, but I would like Gibbs better in this situation.
Are you seeing it the same way, Tom?
I'll be honest, like 1 and 2, I've been in that situation. I've gone back and forth. So it's a coin flip for me. And as much as I draft, I've got, and I don't know where I got, if I draft him at 1 or 2, but I've got 3 Gibbs and 2 Bijans. So,
you can't go wrong. I mean,
Yeah, so you can't go wrong with either one. I don't know if there's that much difference. With Brian Robinson, I don't think it was a bad landing spot for Brian Robinson, because he's somebody I've been targeting. And I've gotten a good bit of them. I've got like 8 shares of Brian Robinson, because I thought there was a chance he might land in Seattle, and because that would have been that would have been a good fit early on. And but I knew he would land somewhere. It's a free agent. Atlanta's not a terrible landing spot for him, and if something does happen, it works out okay. So
I like what Tommy's doing with his hands there, Balky. He looks like he could catch a football.
Yeah, I could catch a football.
Yeah,
I'm talking like Jesse Palmer. You know how Jesse Palmer does this. But Pacheco's the same thing. Like Pacheco's a nice little sneaky pick too with them. I don't think there's a difference between Bijan and Gibbs. I mean, I think I'll be honest. I think it's 1 AA and 1 AAB. Like it's that close. Like it's like I hate to say it, but that's what it is. There's no definitive, and it doesn't really matter because if you're only drafting one team, you need to make a stand.
Yeah.
For me, it doesn't really matter. I mean, that's what I'll say, and I don't know if that answers the question, but
no, it does. It's
a brilliant answer.
Yeah, I mean, but basically, I mean, like the Robinson signing did not move the needle too much for you.
Either way, no. I mean, it's a little difference than Tyler Algier, and it could be one way, it could be the other, but I don't know what it is. It's going to move it one way or the other, but it's not going to move it enough to do anything.
But just for a minute, the Bijan Robinson owners were thinking about how beautiful it would be without a credible running back. They had just a week of it, about a week.
How many people are going to screw up and draft Brian Robinson instead of Bijan Robinson?
None.
We immediately, Tommy, we had this conversation amongst the FFPC staff, like how we're going to handle this in drafts. We're trying to put parameters in to make Brian Robinson ineligible to be drafted in the first 2 rounds. I don't know if that's
BR versus BI,
and that's where like for Dynasty right now. If you look at our Dynasty orphans, they say B Robinson Atlanta, so we actually had to add in BRI and BIJ so people could tell.
Yes, you have to. I mean,
we're people pleasers, and we also
that could be confusing.
We don't want people stepping on landmines either. So there you go. We've been talking so much about Tyler Algier. How about an email here, Tommy? John in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. How much more do you value Tyler Algier in the Cardinals' backfield than James Conner and Trey Benson at the moment? That is John in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Tommy, what do you think about Algier? I mean, it's not like he broke the bank in Arizona.
$6 million.
And they did restructure James Conner too. Yeah. Trey Benson to me is the forgotten guy, but I don't know. You tell me what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I like Algier, and I was looking for like the landing spot for him. And Arizona was like, really? He goes there? Yeah. they bring back Conner. I think Conner's going to have a nice cutout role. The $6 million is one of those that just kind of like, I mean, I think that's what he's got. He got one of those minimal contract, right? 4 or 6 million or whatever it was. And yeah, it's but I think he's gonna be okay. I mean, I think he's gonna get carries. He's gonna be good, but I don't know if he's gonna be that different than he was in Atlanta.
Balky, can you give us a what Darren has him at in the Gorilla?
Yeah, so right now, and by the way, shout out to Darren Armani. Anytime we cite ADP on this show, it is due to fantasymojo.com. At Fantasy Mojo on X, he is the godfather of the Pros versus Joes Challenge. And I would highly recommend each and every one of you to getting a subscription to Fantasy Mojo if you play in the FFPC. Right now, Tyler Algier in the FFPC Big Gorilla, running back 29 at the 709, right underneath Chuba Hubbard and Jadarian Price, right above Jalen Warren and Rico Dowdle. My God, a lot of the guys that we talked about on Wednesday night. That's where Algier sits right now, Ferrell.
Mm-hmm. Well, Tyler Algier, $8 million in guaranteed money with $5.5 million signing bonus with incentives can get to $16 million. I think that's a pretty hefty contract for
okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, no, I'm more in on him than I am on the other two. Mm-hmm. I still have my hopes for Trey Benson.
Mm-hmm.
But Trey Benson, like last year, look, I'll be honest, last year I was so heavy on Trey Benson. And when James Conner went out, I was like, giddy up.
Yep.
And then I got, we had the 1 week, he got like 10 points, and I was like, oh, it's okay. And then the next week he's out, and bye-bye.
I'm all into Tyler as the running back in Arizona. The other guys.
I love that. Brent Allman would love that. He's my fellow owner in several of these leagues, and he's an Algier. He's an Algier guy, and he said Algier's the guy. So that gives me a little more insurance that we're doing the right thing.
That's the way the FFPC Gorilla drafters are handling it too. Algier is going in the late 7th. Benson and Conner are basically going at the 11th,
12, yeah.
So it's about 3 rounds of difference that they're giving Algier right now over those guys. Ferrell, we're going to go to Lawrence, Kansas. Mike has an email for you. How much cold water exactly did Mike Evans throw on Ricky Pearsall's stock? So you can answer this, and thank you for the email, Mike. You can answer this from a dynasty standpoint, from a redraft standpoint. I know a lot of smart people who were in on Ricky Pearsall this year, and I don't know how many people expected Evans to go to San Francisco. And obviously we're very excited talking about Mike Evans catching passes as the, essentially the number one guy there. But Pearsall now, we have to talk about the flip side of this because this hurts him.
Yeah, I don't know. And I think that's an honest answer to that question. I believe that when you bring Mike Evans into a football team, that all receivers are elevated, especially with his ability to get downfield. And I like Purdy's downfield accuracy. At least I don't have statistical numbers to back it up, but from what my eyes tell me, I think he can get the ball to Evans in a place where Evans can catch it. So I like it very much. And then I see what he does to defenders could open things up for the crossing routes that Pearsall looks uniquely gifted to perform and looks most comfortable doing. So I don't think it does anything but help Pearsall be open and catch balls and help the offense. Now, if our friend is questioning, is there enough reps and to go around? Is there enough targets? If that's how he wants to view it, then perhaps there's going to be less, but I don't think so. I think Pearsall's an ascending player, and a great player like Evans only lifts all boats in the 49er offense.
Tommy, we look at this, the ADP in the Gorilla, 508 for Evans, 708 for Pearsall. I'm actually surprised they're going that close together. They're separated by 2 rounds, so maybe you could make a case for one or the other. How have you been handling Evans and Pearsall since they became teammates in the Bay Area?
I'm Evans. So I wasn't. It's not that I'm out on Pearsall. I've just never been like all in on him because of the injuries, and I've seen what he can do. But it's like, okay, you can show me one time and then you disappear. It's like I've dated a lot of girls like that. I see them, and you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you're back now.
Yeah.
So, I think Evans going in there, this is a great spot. I think Evans is motivated. I really do. I think Evans is a good value in 5. Somebody like Terry McLaurin. I mean, I think those guys, like where they're going around, they're just like where they're at. This is in 2 different ways. Like, but Mike Evans has something to prove. He's got a big chip on his shoulder, and if he can stay on the field, he's going to put up big numbers. That doesn't mean Pearsall's not going to deliver. It might actually help him.
Yeah,
but I think maybe it helps him stay on the field. I don't know, but I'm good. Like I think it should be Evans all day if I'm taking one of those 2. 5 versus 7. I'm taking the 5.
Yeah, I think it's wild when we look at the Niners offense in general. Purdy missed a lot of time last year. Obviously, Brandon Ayuk didn't even play last year because of his knee.
Yep.
George Kittle is banged up. We don't know how many games he's going to play this year. Ricky Pearsall has missed time from being shot, from having knee injuries, and Mike Evans obviously had the problems with the collarbone and the hamstring last year. It's wild to me that the Iron Man on this roster is Christian McCaffrey, of all people.
I know.
He's the healthiest guy, and he's been the healthiest guy over the last year plus. It is crazy to think about. And I will say this too. I think if Evans and Pearsall each play 14 plus games this year, they're easily going to pay off on that 508 and 708 ADP.
100%.
Offense.
You gotta love what Pearsall does for the team, though, because he missed what, Balky, like 6 games, 7 games last year. But I know the team, when he was on the field, and this might be incidental, but the team went 8-1 when he was on the field. And
oh wow,
he I can just see more opportunities for him because he gets open. He has a great release. They move him around a little bit. I think I think maybe he's a 70 catch player in this offense. Maybe
unless Evans goes down.
75.
And then he's 100 catches.
Yeah,
and if he does, that's pretty good. That's pretty good numbers for a 7th round draft pick. In 70 catches.
I was joking about it, but there is a lot of contingent upside for these Niners pass catchers, given all the injuries and that electrical substation that they have there that is just torching soft tissues for those Niners players.
Correct.
6 games, Ferrell Pearsall missed 2 years ago. Last year, he missed 8 games for the remainder of the season. Okay, let's go to another one here. Doug in Long Beach. Ferrell, I'll pitch this one to you first. What's up, fellas? Is Jadarian Price the best running back not named Jeremiah Love in this class? And should I be targeting him in the Never Too Early attorneys? Thank you so much. That is Doug in Long Beach. Doug, thank you for the email. Ferrell, we talked about this with Tony Kuchar on Wednesday about Jadarian Price potentially being the Seattle choice if they decide to trade back into the 2nd round, or maybe another team could pick him early in the 2nd round as well. Who do you believe is the 2nd best running back in this class? And as a follow-up to that, how excited would you be to draft him in the Big Gorilla or the Never Too Early tournaments?
Smart players are drafting him, and that's what I've noticed.
It is Price for you? Okay.
Yeah. No, it's I probably didn't answer your question properly.
Well, no, it's fine. I just wanted to make sure that he's the number 2 guy and you are in on him.
Yes. And because I'm watching people that, as we often say in the lead-in to Wednesday show, Bucky, I guess smarter than we are.
Yep,
we got one sitting right with us here, and I look forward to hearing what he says. But I noticed the Fantasy Sopranos are drafting him. I noticed a lot of it. And, so I see no problem with drafting him. And I look forward to the day that we're post-NFL draft and we see where his landing spot is, because people are going to understand the skills. And we've got to sort of lean into NFL scouting here. If they believe in him, I believe we should follow suit and believe in him, and some of the players in the Big Gorilla already do. What do you think, Tommy?
I'm in.
Tommy's
Price
in.
is right. The price is right. I mean, the top end speed. He's explosive. He was a track guy. You said Seattle. God, I hope he lands in Seattle. That's where I was like. That's when I really was. I was drafting him earlier because I think we talked the last time I was on a call or one of these. We were talking about Jeremiah Love, and I still think Jeremiah Love is such a great talent, but I was like, I'm just not sure if I can draft him there. But I'm like, all right, I can get Jadarian Price in the 7th round, and I think that's about where he's going. He's good pass protection, so he's going to be on the field. If he lands in Seattle, oh my God, I think it's great because they run that zone scheme, and he's got that one cut. And he's gone. He fits that system well. So yeah, I'm in. I think his ceiling this year is RB2. I don't think he's going to be an RB1. I don't think he's going to be that elite, and maybe he is. But I think ceiling RB2. The floor is he gets stuck in a committee back if Charbonnet comes back, if he goes there or wherever he goes. And otherwise, if he's in the middle of that, is that terrible for a 7th round pick? Not at all, especially in the running back world.
Tommy, I have a request for you. Will you take your glasses off for a moment?
Yeah.
Because I want to see you roll your eyes when I say this. I'm looking at you real closely.
Oh, perfect.
I want to see if your eyes roll back into your head.
Hold on. Let me
Jeremiah Love is the next McCaffrey.
Okay.
I didn't see the eyes roll back.
Well,
I mean, look, he's getting drafted at the end of, he's getting drafted in early 2nd round. So I mean, that doesn't faze me.
Yeah, but those guys that are drafted around him are not.
So, I don't know, maybe I should put my sunglasses on.
I don't know. You look good in those glasses.
Like
You look so
poker.
smart. You look smart.
I'll say this. I mentioned Seattle potentially trading out of the 32 and then taking him early in the second round. I can see the Niners potentially doing that. You mentioned the next McCaffrey. If he is,
Yeah.
why not draft Price? If you're San Francisco, trade out of the first round, get back into round 2, pick up some capital.
Hold on. You said Bryce. You said Bryce, or Jadarian. Oh, Price. Yeah. You said Price. Sorry,
Price. Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. So I still believe Love goes to the Titans at 4. I do too. I remain reserve the right to change my mind on that, but I think that's what's going to happen. But if it doesn't, Titans have the 3rd pick of the second round, so they could go with a pass rusher in round 1 and then get Jadarian Price in round 2. Tony Pollard is easily cuttable at this point. Or if let's say Love does go to the Titans, we know how the Giants were poking around with Kenneth Walker and Jeremiah Love. What if they take Jadarian Price early in round 2? New Orleans has the 42nd overall pick of the draft. Why not Jadarian Price down in the Big Easy too? I think there's a lot. Achane went there. Sorry, I forgot about Achane.
Yeah.
So he's there. So New Orleans is right out.
You've moved on from ETN. I have not yet.
I think that you should use Achane's first name as not to confuse the casual listener.
Sure. All right. So Travis Etienne. Okay. Travis Etienne is the official HSFF Hour moniker.
I love it.
Running back. Not to be confused with Trevor Etienne.
Yeah, I don't think we have casual listeners on extra.
Probably don't.
I don't really think.
I love that.
Sam in Portland. Ferrell, I'll throw this to you. Hi, Ferrell and Balky. Is Terry McLaurin going to be the last pass catcher standing in Washington, or are the Commanders going to draft someone that will take targets away from him? Sam in Portland. Thank you. Ferrell, at least I didn't think about this. Like, I think that the scuttlebutt for the last couple of months was that Jaden Daniels was going to reunite with his old teammate from Arizona State in Washington and Brandon Ayuk. And I read the John Keim, I can't remember how to pronounce it, report, who covers the Commanders for ESPN.com, and he doesn't think that's very likely. Well, I mean, I guess Washington could still – I don't think they bring back Deebo Samuel. Diggs is out there. We've been talking about these other receivers, Diggs, Hopkins, Keenan Allen, or whatever. I guess they could go with one of those. They could draft somebody as well. In my opinion, I don't think McLaurin – I think Washington is not done, and they're going to add at least one more, maybe even 2 more. Is that the way you see it for the pass catchers for the Commanders?
That's the way I see it, but McLaurin is still the man. And I think that McLaurin will work with this quarterback and continue to get better in this offense. I see nothing but upside for McLaurin.
Is there a receiver in the draft or in free agency, Ferrell, that would actually hurt McLaurin, like is good enough to actually hurt his production because of fewer targets? Or is there not that player out there that's gonna impact McLaurin enough where we should downgrade him in our drafts?
I'm tempted to pull up, but I can't because I don't have that technology present. But I would like McLaurin. I would take a look at the targets. If you think you're going to rely on double-digit targets every week for McLaurin, I don't think he has to have that to be successful. I think better is better for everyone on a football team, especially when you have a prolific quarterback and a running back situation that is somewhat unsettled and a tight end situation that is somewhat unsettled. I believe that there's plenty of balls in the air for the Commanders.
Tommy, when you think of McLaurin, or at least when I thought of McLaurin this offseason, I was like, dude came in hurt last year. Jaden Daniels gets hurt. And I think because recency of bias affects all of us, people are going to be down on Daniels. They're going to be down on McLaurin. And I think these guys are going to make some pretty good buys in the Gorilla and the Never Too Early tournaments. you've drafted a bunch. Have you been noticing that McLaurin and Daniels have been falling nicely to you, or have you been avoiding them too?
So I think my highest, hold on, let's check real quick. My highest on wide receiver, 45%, Terry McLaurin.
Oh,
Big Gorilla.
Yeah, so you're big on McLaurin.
Yeah, 5th round. He's 5th round. And everything you just said is exactly what I believe. Holdout, injuries, Jane Daniels. I mean, it's and the new offensive coordinator's coming in. He's publicly saying 10 targets a game. I mean,
right.
You know, we'll see that. I love coach speech, but
and I'll just say this: David Blau's a new offensive coordinator. He's never been an offensive coordinator before, and I think that's a fun thing that a first-year offensive coordinator says. Dude has never averaged 10 targets a game for his entire career.
He's like 5. He's like 5, like little under 5 in his career, but he does a lot with them. But if you go, but I think what I hear from that is he knows he needs to get him the damn ball, so feed him the ball, and I think that's where he goes. He doesn't get 10, but he gets 7. If he averaged 5 before, I mean, I want to go back. His career has been pretty damn good. Except, I mean, last year was off, but everything else has been phenomenal. So, I mean, I do think, I think that Brendan Ayuk probably, I mean, I think that makes sense that he could end up there. They're going to bring somebody in. Is it going to be Ayuk? Is it going to be, maybe it's Jennings? I mean, maybe it's one of those, right?
Ferrell, I forgot about Senior Oinker.
I'm using the oinker. I thought Tommy was finished. I certainly wasn't oink. I'm trying to stop the show because you said something that I am uncomfortable with. Not you, Tommy Allen, Balky.
What did I say?
Balky, all of a sudden, and I roll back the tape. Balky says you can go ahead and cut Pollard. Now, wait a minute.
Well, I'm not talking about from a fantasy standpoint. I'm talking about real life standpoint.
Well, they're not going to cut this player. He rushed for 1,100 yards last year.
Yeah, I mean, I'll look up the contract.
What in the Dave Turp is going on? Turp is right. You better hope Turp doesn't go to New Orleans with me and learn voodoo because he would be, he'd be down there.
Right.
He'd be down there, bulky. Beard would be turning. It would be bad.
So Pollard, this is Pollard's final year of his contract.
Yeah.
It's a $9+ million cap hit this year.
Mm-hmm.
But if they did decide to cut him, it'd be a $2 million dead cap hit, which is wise. And they have Spears there as well. And I think they only cut Pollard, Ferrell. I think the only possibility is if they draft Love. If they draft Price whoever in the second round, I don't think they cut Pollard. But I'm just saying, if you want to go all in on Love, which I would not do if I were the Titans, my team is in the shape it's in right now, then certainly you could move on from Pollard.
You just had Wandale.
Yes, you do have Robinson. And we'll talk about another Titan here coming up. I want to ask Tommy, before the Oinkers rudely interrupted you.
I apologize.
What did you say about Juwan? What did you say about Juwan Jennings? Did you think he was a possibility for the Commanders?
Yeah, no, I mean, I haven't heard, like, Juwan Jennings is going to land somewhere. I mean, look, I think the big thing has been he was a little. The wide receiver market did not change as much as he wanted it to. Now, because he can't set himself to JSN, but like he was a little proud of what he was asking for. But like he's worth going somewhere. He's going to land somewhere, and he's a great wide receiver. Where's he going? Like this is one that I don't know the answer, but this is a guy I want to be on. I'll be in on. I mean, I know he's not a great clubhouse guy.
Balky broke it down real well about the compensatory picks on Wednesday's show, and they're in Washington. That's San Francisco 49er front office. So I think you're onto something there.
Yeah,
I think he, like, in a world where Alec Pierce is getting $114 million and Juwan Jennings is fine, it's a little baffling. I think Raiders would be a nice. I mean, you mentioned the Commanders. I think the Raiders, Ferrell, would be a nice fit for Juwan Jennings. Putting him up there with Bowers and Genti. I think that'd be fun.
And Jalen Naylor. I mean, he's right now. He's their number one. Like I feel like.
I mean, I think that's a little wild too. I mean, to think about. Let's say they do wait until after the draft to sign Jennings, and Jennings signs with the Raiders for a much smaller contract than what Jalen Naylor got, right? And I think FFPC drafters would probably still be drafting Juwan Jennings ahead of Jalen Naylor, not following the money. Maybe smartly, maybe not smartly. I don't know.
I agree.
Gunnar Helm, we got to get to him here, Tommy. Jeff, is Gunnar Helm going too late in the never too early drafts? Thank you, Jeff in Jacksonville. Yeah, this is interesting to me. I know they got Robinson, but they let Okonkwo go, and I think a lot of people like Helm kind of came on later. He was dealing. Didn't he break? He sprained his ankle at the combine, and he did all the runs and the agility stuff, and he sucked because he was dealing with a really bad ankle. And so you kind of look at that and you write it off, and then he goes to Tennessee and you write it off even more, right? Tight end 28 for this pretty talented tight end right now, going behind Njoku, Stowers, and Mason Taylor. This is 14th round. This is the never too early best ball ADP I'm looking at, Tommy. I don't know, man. I think that's pretty late for a guy who could take a pretty sizable step forward this year.
Oh, it's not as my target for tight end, but in Big Gorilla, I've been like hammering him as a tight end 3, even 2 in some cases. If I get a Trey McBride or a Brock Bowers.
What round, Tommy?
I've been getting him in 17th in Big Gorilla. Mm-hmm. So, and I think he's going to tight end 30 or so in Big Gorilla.
Tight end 31, 16-10 is where his ADP is at.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, he fits that normal development curve for a tight end, right? They're not always going to hit. They're not all Tyler Warren. They're not all going to hit the first year. They're not all. I mean, I think he's in a good spot. Chig being out, he's going to get targets. He was getting 5+ targets the back part of last year. So, giddy up.
6'5", 241, Texas Longhorn, and he broke through in his very last year there at Texas. I'm with you.
And Cam Ward's stepping forward this year. I mean, don't you think? Look, Cam Ward's going to be better. So,
well, that's the most understated thing that Tommy Island mark it down at 12:05 Eastern time. That Tommy Island said Cam Ward's going to be better. That's good. Yeah,
I will say this: like we talked about guys who finished the season strong. Ward finished the season strong.
Yeah, Tommy's right.
And the way that he crushed it down the stretch, I don't know if he can replicate that over the course of a 17-game season. Because it was like multiple touchdowns every single game, you know.
That's what we watch, though. That's what you look at. That's why we draft early, because
we love the end of the season. And he's got. I'll remind you guys, he has Wandale.
He has what?
Wandale.
Oh, he has Wandale. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody needs to know.
The stats for Gunnar Helm, his final year at Texas, Ferrell, you mentioned it. 60 catches, just under 800 yards and 7 touchdowns. And that's big boy SEC football too. Mm-hmm. I think there's something there. And especially if Tennessee doesn't go after any, maybe they would add a receiver on day 1, not day 1, but day 2 or something like that. You're looking at Iamaner, DK, Calvin Ridley catching passes there. And then you have Wandale and Gunnar Helm. So I think that there's something there. I don't know if like Helm's going to set the world on fire, but like Tommy was saying, 16th, 17th round as tight end 31, take a shot for the love of God.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what if you need like the worst case scenario, he's somebody that you can keep on your bench and play him when you need him. Like especially in a Big Gorilla. Because
our champion of the FFPC last year, Rob Sorrell, told us that he drafted 3 tight ends, Tommy, and he got Pitts very late, and he never used him, despite the fact he caught 80-something balls. He only used him once. Balky, was that it? Was that the quote that he gave us? So you could be right there. Gunnar Helm, 80 catches. Tommy didn't have to use him. He had all
Do you guys? Maybe you guys mentioned it. Do you know how many catches Gunnar Helm had as a rookie from Cam Ward last year?
Oh, 30-something.
45.
Oh, it was a great guess, Tommy. 44.
Oh,
like I thought it was lower than that, but
yeah.
I'd be wrong. He had a pair of 6-catch games back to back in November.
Late in the year.
That's what it was.
So, yeah, I think there's something there. And like obviously, like when you go this late, we're all going to take shots on these guys. And we're going to say, like, we tend to only look at the positives for those guys down at the bottom of round 15 on or whatever. We're just looking for ceiling. There's some ceiling there. Final email we're going to do tonight. And
oh, really?
Yeah. And I will, unless you have another question, Ferrell, for Tommy.
I'm going to make up some stuff.
Make up something, please.
So Ferrell, Dean in Marquette, Michigan. When do you think Patrick Mahomes returns, and is he a good value right now in the Big Gorilla? Thank you, Dean in Marquette, Michigan. I can tell you in the Big Gorilla, Patrick Mahomes and his surgically repaired ACL currently is being selected as quarterback 12 at the 11:08 behind Trevor Lawrence and Dak Prescott and ahead of Brock Purdy and Matthew Stafford. Ferrell, Mahomes comes back week 1. True or false?
I don't have enough information to make a guess. I know being the competitor he would love to. I want him to come back when he's healthy, and I don't want to push it. But okay, I'm going to go ahead and say yes. Hey, you know what, Balky? The season starts a little later this year, so I'm going to say
right.
I think he's being drafted at the right spot. I'm tempted to draft Stafford ahead of him. Tommy, what about you?
I'm drafting Mahomes ahead of Stafford, but but no disrespect to you, my friend.
Well, no, but I like those 40 touchdowns, and I like those.
Yeah. No, I get it. You like his stuff
yeah.
he has. Yeah. No, I understand that.
That was Dean Meminger from Marquette.
I'll be honest. I like Mahomes' legs.
Yeah,
not his physical legs, but what he did last year on the ground. Now, I like that he's got Ken Walker coming in this year. He actually has a running back. I think they can get back to some form of a normal functioning offense with a normal running back, which they haven't had. They've been using whatever the hell they can have. I mean, they've had Kareem Hunt, half, one leg, peg leg Pacheco. And I mean that's what it's been. So I think they're in a good spot, and they've got good young wide receivers. And
I like the fact they re-signed his tight end.
They re-signed his tight end, and who knows what they do in the draft. They're going to address something in the draft. I mean, what if they drafted Sadiq? Somebody's going to draft Sadiq. I'm like, God, if Sadiq went to Kansas City, I mean, there's all these teams that he could land at. So anyway,
I don't know.
I'll take it all day. I'll take Patrick. I've got one chair of him, but I don't think he's a bad value there at QB. Like you said, QB 12 or round 11.
Would you draft him ahead of Prescott?
I think it depends on the draft. I could go either way. I probably what I would say is this. I need to make sure I have another quarterback that I feel good with to start the year. Mm-hmm. So I would rather draft Mahomes and say, okay, I'm going to be able to get a Prescott, or I'm going to be able to get a Jared Goff, or somebody that I know I can start the year with, so I don't have to depend on him just in case he's not ready to start the year. I don't want to start the year with Tyler Sloan or with Shug or somebody like that.
Yeah. Tommy, did the Justin Fields signing? That was a sign. That wasn't a trade, was it?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was. Yeah, I mean,
okay. So,
it's interesting.
Do you glean any information on how Kansas City thinks Mahomes' knee is healing with that Fields signing, or is that neither here nor there?
Well, why wouldn't they go get like Kirk Cousins?
No.
Well, maybe that's what we have to answer.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, because Kirk Cousins would be free. They're both free, but I mean, Why would you get Justin Fields? But I get it. I understand. I don't know what Justin Fields has. For their offense. I don't know. It didn't do anything for me on if he's going to be out longer than a few weeks. I think he's back within a week or so. Like if he misses anything, it's going to be a week or two.
No, I think there's so many good options around Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
I'm going to be willing to take him. And if Bill Hollywood was here, he doesn't want a quarterback like Mahomes on his roster, I think.
Okay.
I think.
So what do you think, Balky? I want to hear. Like, I'm curious.
Here's what I think. I think the value quarterback 12 for Mahomes is fine. It's not a target. It's definitely not a fade for me.
Yeah, right.
My concern is the dude set a career high in rushing last year, only playing in 14 games. So I wouldn't say that's a career year, but it's definitely an outlier year. And that went into some of his fantasy production. But at the same time, dude has a surgically repaired knee. Is he going to want to run as much? Are the Chiefs going to want him to run as much this year? Which means in order to hit sort of those benchmarks that he did for fantasy production last year, he's going to have to throw more. And he's got an aging Kelsey. He's got Rashee Rice, who God only knows if he's going to be on the field or not. I have no idea. And outside of that, Xavier Worthy, I don't know. So I'm fine with taking Mahomes there, but if I do take Mahomes as my number one quarterback in the Gorilla, I'm probably getting Purdy. I'm probably getting Stafford. I'm probably getting Nix, somebody like that right away, and not mess around with it because
it's a double tap.
Yeah, it is a double tap. And my personal opinion is that I don't think Mahomes is back week one. I think he's back before October. But I don't think they put him out there and rush him to get him out there right away.
I respect that.
That's sort of
what my personal opinion is.
I respect that.
You know what my personal opinion is, Balky?
What's that?
Is that you look really, really good with that Raider chain around your neck.
And
it's a damn shame you haven't put it on tonight. Yeah. And I have a question to ask you, Balky.
Fire away.
You know, as having a terrestrial show in East West Wisconsin for years, and being the voice of the people there in Appleton, when's Aaron Rodgers going to sign?
I think I think it's probably before the draft.
Is anyone drafting Aaron Rodgers in our?
I drafted him in Superflex today, and so I drafted at 8:00 tonight in the one of the Superflex, never too early's.
Mm-hmm. Well, the matter of fact, on Wednesday night, we threw out a challenge for people to join League 110813 in the Baby Gorilla. And as of today here on Friday, I don't see anyone that's joined it, and including Tommy Island. So I'm just throwing that down there. Fantasy Sopranos and I are waiting. Balky cannot join.
Stevie G's drafted a lot of drafts.
I needed to get this Rodgers thing in here because I believe that the key to moving Rodgers, this is so to moving Rodgers up through the draft is obviously the fact that Pittman is there, because I'd miss getting Pittman in on the show, and I just had to get him into tonight's show. So I missed it on Wednesday. We got him into tonight's show.
I drafted him tonight in that I drafted him, DK, and Aaron Rodgers and Freiermuth.
Oh
Pittsburgh.
I know I did that on late stack. I did Dak and George Pickens with a little Fergie, and I think I started with Chase, and it was a fun little, look. And best ball, you have to stack, right? That's the key to winning in best ball. So it's a little different than the big gorillas, but anyway, that's what I worked in.
I have not seen a Pittsburgh stack like that since I saw what the butchers and chefs were doing at Primanti Brothers in Pittsburgh. That is quite the delicious Pittsburgh stack that you have assembled there, Tommy.
That could be beautiful.
For sure. Listen, I know you've been traveling a lot lately.
Yeah.
Thank you for carving out some time tonight to hang out with us. Safe travels going forward, for sure. And enjoy drafting season, man. Ferrell and I always love having you on. We'll have to do this again sometime. Until then, Tommy Island 69 on the X is where to find you, as well as in FFPC and KFFSC draft rooms. Be good, my friend, and we will talk with you very soon.
I appreciate you guys very much.
Thank you,
soon,
Tommy.
okay? Take care.
You.
We'll see you. That is
So
Tommy.
what's going to happen when he gets focused, when he gets moved out of his house that he's in now, moved into his new house? He's completely focused. What's going to happen with him in drafts? And, speaking of traveling, I know where he's going to be the last weekend in August.
Just outside Louisville.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a lot of fun. I don't know if I told you this. My room and my flight now booked for August, so I am counting down the days till I get to draft in there again. Loaded up my schedule once again. I think I got 11 drafts in 3 days out there, which is
we got to find a couple more for you then.
Well, if you can make it happen, sure. I'm going to be cutting that first one. I think it's the Jim Finks one at 1:00 on Friday. I'm going to be cutting that one close for when I try to get an early flight to get out there to make sure I'm there, but it's going to be close. I'll be there regardless. Yeah. And if you want to be there, and if you want to be drafting in the KFFSC this year, go to KFFSC.com. KFFSC.com. Register for the main event, the Sweet 16, the Draft Masters, the auctions,
one of these trophies.
Paybacks, and win one of those glorious trophies that Ferrell has right in front of him, and you can see them right over my shoulder back here, my illustrious Kentucky collection that I have.
What a collection.
Some more. I'll move out of the way. There's some more.
Two-packer can no longer make fun of your trophy collection, Balky. You've been doing very well.
Yeah, and you have too, and you do very well on this show. Thank you so much, and I will bid you adieu. Have a great weekend, Ferrell. We'll talk with you on Wednesday night.
See you next week.
That is Ferrell Elliott, the definitive commissioner of fantasy football, joining us on HSFF Hour Extra Reps tonight. I want to thank Tommy Herrin, obviously. That's Tommy Island is not his real name. It's Tommy Herrin. Ferrell Elliott, the FFPC, Rob Bryce, and, of course, each and every one of you. We will be back with Steve Bezos on Wednesday night, the Dynasty champ, multi-league Dynasty champ in the FFPC, talking more Dynasty fantasy football next Wednesday at 10 p.m. on the High Stakes Fantasy Football Hour. In case you missed it, last night, Insider Access went live at 7 p.m. Andrew Mott from Dynasty Nerds hopped aboard. We talked to a lot of rookies, and some dynasty strategy in there as well. You can watch that back on the FFPC socials at your convenience. FFPC Dynasty and Empire Dynasty Orphans available for as little as $1 now at myffpc.com. While you're there, get a few entries in the Never Too Early Best Ball Tournament and the Never Too Early Superflex Best Ball Tournament. Not making this up. Both of those tournaments are pacing faster as far as registrations go than last year, and they both sold out last year. We say that we shut those down before the NFL draft. They may be shut down earlier this year because of player support, which we appreciate. The Big Gorilla will not be shut down until September, I'm sure. Same thing with the Baby Gorilla. The Big Gorilla, $350 to enter $1 million grand prize. 7 Bananas promo is out there. Early Rampage tournament available now. $25,000 grand prize. So you are automatically entered into that when you join the Big Gorilla right now. The Baby Gorilla, for those of you who always want to play high stakes fantasy football, but I thought the price point was too high. $125 to get into this, and you could still win $100 grand. That's at myffpc.com. myffpc.com. Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment on the video, share with your friends, share with your enemies, and get notified each and every time we go live, which will be next Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern time, with Ferrell Elliott, myself, and the Dynasty champ, Steve Bezos. For Ferrell Elliott, for Tommy Herrin, I'm Eric Balkman. This has been High Stakes Fantasy Football Hour Extra Reps. Talk with you again on Wednesday. Your weekend officially starts now.
This has been another episode of the High Stakes Fantasy Football Hour presented by myffpc.com. It was broadcast live and was watched around the world. Balky and Ferrell will be back next week with more analysis, more interviews, and more advice from guests much smarter than they are. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk with you again next week.
Yourself.